Alright. So anyway, like I said, I'll do a quick rundown of my Springfield St. Victor. Alright, so to start, I got this rifle in October of 2022. I bought it off a family relative for, let's just say I bought it well below MSRP. Still expensive, but bought it well below MSRP. And this rifle has seen some iterations. It came with a Vortex Viper, or no, a Vortex Optics Spark AR red dot that I put on the St. Victor. It comes with a B5 system stock, B5 grip. I added a Magpul foregrip with a flashlight. I'm trying not to blind you guys too bad. There we go. And it came with a front sight, but it does not have a rear sight. I just left it on there because once upon a time I envisioned having this being an up-close rifle like the Black Rain Ordnance, but things got switched around. And I put a ambidextrous charging handle on it as well. I believe this is a Battle Creek ambi charging handle. And the optic is a SIG MSR, or SIG Tango MSR 1-6x24 with a very badass optic on it, or reticle, might I add. It has a 1-8 twist barrel. I do not know the name of the handguard or muzzle brake that Springfield used on this, so I apologize in advance. I do need to clean it still from the other day. I'm pretty sure the other day I ran around 300 rounds to this puppy. And boy, does this thing shoot. Oh my god. This shoots so damn good, guys. This thing is a beast of an AR. I have 3 AR15s. I have a DPMS Oracle. I have this and my Black Rain Ordnance. I love them all, but this one I think shoots better than those two. By far. By far. I do have provisions to put a sling on it. I have a QD point that came in the mail the other day. And I have bought a bunch of tools to install this, because if you're wanting to install, it is an M-lock system, and if you want to put anything on it, you have to take the handguard off, which is not too hard because it has 4 screws, 2 on this side, 2 on this side. You just unscrew them and the whole handguard slides off the barrel. And that's the easy part, but putting slots and rails on there, like how I've got my Magpul grip, getting around up in here to put this rail on was kind of a bitch, because look how far back from the end of the rail it is that you got to go in with tools, and it's a very narrow workspace, so that's its only detractor, is the mounting stuff onto it with the M-lock system, because you have to reach way, and especially if like you're wanting to put something like here in the middle, you'd have to reach way back in here, from way back here or way up here to reach in there to get to it. I mean, some of those T-slot systems for Magpul stuff or M-lock stuff have it to where it's like counter thread. You just stick it in there and it start threading the screw, and it will, you know, twist around where it will lock in place, and then you just tighten it down. But sometimes that's bad. Sometimes that works, sometimes it don't, and a lot of the time it don't. My experience with M-lock. Don't get me wrong, M-lock's cool, and I understand the concept of it. This way it gives you the option where you can put stuff where you want it, instead of having to like put up with big bulky quad rail that runs the length of the system. And you can actually hold on to it like this, although I definitely, with the St. Victor's, I definitely wouldn't recommend it, because you will burn the ever-living hell out of your fingers unless you have a glove on. And because this handguard gets hot as hell after a couple of rounds. But yeah, the M-lock's kind of just, that's my own personal preference. I prefer quad rails. But anywho, the flashlight I have, may as well add that in there before I get off topic again, is a Surefire clone. Another thing I keep saying I'm going to do a video on and then forget. I apologize. This is where I'm at right now. These are actually pretty good flashlights. Kind of have a torture test going on with this one, because as you see there, it is right next to that muzzle brake. And see, the tape here is all blown off. So these flashlights are pretty durable, these cheap Surefire clones, because it's taking muzzle blast from that every time I pull the trigger, and it still comes on each time I hit the pressure pad. I do have the way I have the Surefire clone mounted on there is I have a 90-degree Picatinny rail. They do make 90-degree Picatinny rails, and I have it mounted on another pick rail, and it's just held off to the side for that. Alright, let's go over the trigger pull. Let me take the mag out and show that it is in fact empty. Alright, the trigger pull, always have a problem with this. One of these days I'll get it down to a science here in this corner. Yes, here we go. Okay, the trigger pull, there we are, is that light, and then the reset. Get real close, as close as I can, see the reset. This is a factory trigger, by the way. I've not switched the trigger out at all. Epic. That's why this thing can shoot so well. And the safety selector is ambi from the factory, and it is a 45-degree throw instead of a full 90, which means getting it on fire and safe is a lot quicker. By how much is anybody's guess. I'm sure there's probably research that has been done that determines that, like, oh, you know, just a 45 throw like that instead of a 90, you know, you're getting the gun in the game a lot quicker. Doesn't really make much of a difference. I hope I never have to find out in a self-defense situation. And this, along with all, don't quote me on this because I could be wrong, but all M1A, or not M1A, all ARs from Springfield. All ARs, AR15s, I'm pretty sure from Springfield, have the Accu plug. I can get the... See, had a hard time getting that second pin open because of the Accu wedge. I think it's called the Accu wedge. Could be wrong. because the lockup between the upper and lower, it lets you adjust how tight the upper and lower can be. You can see inside there. I have to get my phone. Okay. Alright, so on the inside of, yeah, there, right there, you see that blue plug? Right here. That is the Accu wedge that Springfield ARs have. And what that does is you take your pistol grip off, and there's like a little screw in there for that, and you tighten that screw up as high as it will go, because it will let you, as high as it will go without making it hard for the upper to come down on the lower. There we go. Yeah. So that way when the upper and lower mates, there is no play. See, I'm wiggling them, and there is no play whatsoever between the upper and lower. And that is what the beauty of the Accu wedge allows, is it takes all the play between the upper and lower out. And I think that attributes a lot to accuracy, because this thing is a tack driver. Absolute tack driver. Even though it has a 1 1/8 twist, it will shoot 52 grain to 55 grain bullets very tightly out to 100 yards. Like, I'm talking sub MOA groups when I'm on my game. And when I'm not on my game, it will open up to about maybe 1 MOA. But either way, and it takes very minimal effort with this rifle. Like, you really don't have to be doing the whole, like, you know, count, like, slowing your breath and, you know, controlling your trigger pull and all that with this rifle. You just put the reticle on the target and squeeze the trigger, and you're getting decent groups. So this thing, like I said, the more I shoot this rifle, the farther up the list of my favorite semi-autos it goes. And it's pretty high up there right now. It's a very accurate rifle, very reliable. The other day I was having some feeding issues, but I believe that was magazine related and not gun related. And if it was gun related, it's because it was getting so dirty. Because I put a lot of rounds through this the other day. I did a lot of shooting off camera too with it. I put somewhere in the realm of about 300 through it one afternoon. Maybe it could have been more, because I was shooting a lot of hand loads too. Hard to say, but this thing is a beast. And my first impressions of it is, if you guys have the money to get a St. Victor, I'm definitely not saying you shouldn't get one. I'm saying it's a beast rifle. And that is why I will continue to do further more and more shootings with it, and ammo tests. I need to test M855 through it to see how well it groups screen tip, and maybe some different types of ammunition from different companies. It was shooting like with a very bad rifle rest. I was shooting Freedom Munitions 223 55 grain full metal jackets through it at about 90 yards distance of my grandparents' pond, and to a red pie plate. from a really kind of unstable rest, and I was getting about one MOA. So even in a bad shooting situation, it shoots quite well if you can compensate and overcome your shooting positions inadequacies like I had to. So all in all, for my first impressions, since I figured I'd just go ahead and do it, convinced myself in my last video that hey, I've got the time, I'm right here, may as well, so went ahead and did it. My first impressions are this thing, absolutely love it. I'd say total round count I've had in it so far, let's say about 800. That should be a fair assessment because I've shot it quite a bit. Maybe not as much as some other guns I've got currently, but I've squeezed the trigger on it quite a bit for 2 years. Kind of fell on the back burner there for a while, but when I do get it out, same with the other guns, when I do get them out, I tend to shoot them quite a bit. Either way, it's a badass rifle. Forgot to mention that the gas system has a 16-inch barrel with a 1 8 twist, but the gas system is a mid-length gas system. It's not rifle length, because if it was rifle length it would end about right here, and it's not carbine length, because if it was carbine length it would end like right here or something, but it ends right here. It's mid-length. So it's kind of got like a quasi-dissipator nuance going on. And between that, the AccuEdge, the good trigger, and the muzzle brake, this thing, it shoots flat. Probably the flattest shooting gun I've got next to my M70. So, it's a tack driver too. It's very accurate. So, all in all, absolutely love it. And if you're in the market for one, I definitely suggest not passing one up, because it's a beast. So anyway, guys, I continue to do more videos on this rifle. I need to get a sling for it next. It's the only thing that's missing off of it, and then it will be complete. And I have plans to maybe convert it to gas piston, because of how flat it shoots. I was just thinking that when I was out there shooting it the other day. I'm like, you know, instead of it being DI, which don't let anybody catch me calling it DI, because the term for AR gas systems with the bolt has changed, but I'm too tired to forget what it's called. It's like direct impingement internal piston type thing. I think that's what it's called now. But anyway, I was just thinking, like, you know, I could probably convert this thing over to gas piston, because I was seeing how dirty it was getting back here in the receiver. The whole back end back in here is just like filthy. I was like, if I convert it to gas piston, I'd take half of that crud and just move it up here like an M14. So I don't know. I'm kicking tires on that, because I gotta figure out what the diameter of my barrel is, and if I can get a gas piston system to fit under this handguard. And I'd have to change out the bolt carrier and all that. So I'm kicking tires on it, but I'm strongly thinking about it, and just make this thing like an AKM14 type of operating system, but inside an AR15. So anyway, that's all I've got for now. It's currently 7:15, and even though I go in late to work tonight because of the 4th, probably I'll get some rest and edit this up. So till the next video, guys, I get you all in the next one. Have a happy 4th of July, and go blow some stuff up with your friends and family. And I'll catch you guys all in the next one.